Okay, let's start. The next continuous type distribution is exponential distribution. A continuous random variable x with the probability density function fx is equal to lambda e raised to minus lambda x for x greater or equal to 0 otherwise. Where this lambda greater than 0 is called an exponential random variable. We also say that x follows an exponential distribution with the parameter lambda, or we write x follows exp of lambda. So this is the probability density function of exponential distribution, lambda e raised to minus lambda x with the parameter lambda, that lambda is a positive constant. And this random variable assumes non-negative probability densities for positive values of x only. And in practical situations, this exponential distribution is used to model distribution of amount of time until some specific event occurs. For example, suppose we are measuring the time in which a machine works before it fails, and if you are measuring the time from the starting, then that time follows exponential distribution with this density function. Fx is equal to lambda e raised to minus lambda x. So this will be the graph of that exponential function with the density fx is equal to lambda e raised to minus lambda x. For x is equal to 0, we have the value lambda. And after that, we can see that the probability density curve is a decreasing function. And this x is the time. As that time increases or the value of x increases, the density curve becomes decreasing, and we can see that total area under this exponential density curve is 1. So that will satisfy the condition that this fx can be treated as a probability density function of a continuous type of random variable. And we can check how this exponential density giving the total area under the curve was 1. By performing integration, we can see that if you are integrating over the whole number line, that is integral minus infinity to infinity, the density function fx dx is equal to, because this exponential random variable is taking non-zero density only for positive values for x greater or equal to 0. That means we can replace integral minus infinity to infinity by 0 to infinity, and that fx value is lambda e raised to minus lambda x. Lambda e raised to minus lambda x dx is equal to lambda into integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus lambda x dx equal to lambda into, upon integration we will get this as e raised to minus lambda x divided by minus lambda, and we can evaluate the limit from 0 to infinity. So we can cancel this lambda with the minus lambda, so there will be an 80 sign, and in upper limit substitution we have e raised to minus infinity, that e raised to minus infinity goes to 0, and e raised to 0 goes to 1. So the total area under the curve is 1. So definitely we can consider this density function fx is equal to lambda e raised to minus lambda x as a probability density function. Also it is non-negative, because from this graph we can see that all the values of the density function fx are lying above the x-axis. So we can derive the mean and variance of exponential random variable. Mean and variance. The mean value is given by expected value of the random variable e of x equal to integrating over the whole number line the product x of x equal to integral minus infinity to infinity x into lambda e raised to minus lambda x. So we can apply integration by parts by removing this constant. So after substituting that density function fx, because that fx was only non-zero value for the range 0 to infinity, we can replace this minus infinity by 0. So this is equivalent to integral 0 to infinity. So that value becomes 0. So that is lambda into integral 0 to infinity x e raised to minus lambda x dx. Perform integration by parts by considering x as the first function, that is first into integral of the second e raised to minus lambda x divided by minus lambda, then minus derivative of that x into integral of e raised to minus lambda x by minus lambda again, that is e raised to minus lambda x divided by minus lambda the whole square, that is lambda square, then plus derivative of that one, that becomes 0, so we can stop the integration and evaluating from 0 to infinity. So that is equal to lambda into, in the upper limit we have x into e raised to minus lambda x divided by minus lambda. Then the next term minus e raised to minus lambda x by lambda square. Evaluating from 0 to infinity equal to lambda into substituting upper limit. So in every upper limit we have a term e raised to minus infinity. So the first term goes to 0 because of that e raised to minus infinity, and the second term also goes to 0 because of that e raised to minus infinity, that will goes to 0. So in upper limit both the answers are zeros, and in lower limit we are putting x is equal to 0. So the first term becomes 0, and the second term e raised to 0 by lambda square, that is e raised to 0 is 1. So 1 by lambda square. That is the only non-zero term. So we can simplify this as lambda into, this is 1 by lambda square. So that will give 1 by lambda. That means if x follows exponential distribution, we can write this as exponential distribution with the parameter lambda, its mean is equal to 1 by lambda. So that is, mean is the reciprocal of the parameter. And similarly we can derive the variance of this distribution. For variance of x we need expected value of x square. So that is by definition integral minus infinity to infinity x square of x dx equal to, substituting for the density has only non-zero value in the range 0 to infinity. So replacing minus infinity to infinity by 0 to infinity, x square into lambda e raised to minus lambda x dx equal to lambda into integral 0 to infinity x square e raised to minus lambda x dx x square e raised to minus lambda x dx equal to lambda into, now perform integration by parts by taking this x square as the first function. So that is x square into integral of e raised to minus lambda x with respect to x e raised to minus lambda x by minus lambda, then put a negative sign, derivative of x square 2x, integral of this first bracket, that is e raised to minus lambda x divided by minus lambda. There is also one more minus lambda there, so this becomes lambda square. Then alternative plus and minus sign, then put a positive sign, derivative of 2x2 into e raised to minus lambda x divided by minus lambda cube, then put a negative sign, derivative of that 2 becomes 0. So we can stop and evaluating from integral 0 to infinity. So that is lambda into, so as before, if you are substituting the upper limit x is equal to infinity, we have three terms which contains the e raised to minus infinity term. So in upper limit substitution, the terms containing e raised to minus infinity goes to 0. So the first term 0, second term 0, and the third term also 0 because of the presence of e raised to minus infinity. So in lower limit substitution, we are putting x is equal to 0. So x is equal to 0. So the first term 0, second term also 0, and the third term is the only non-negative term. So that we have to put this in lower limit. So this is upper limit minus lower limit. That upper limit minus 2 by minus lambda cube. Okay, correct. So on simplification, we can cancel one lambda and the sign will be positive. So the total value becomes 2 by lambda square. Next, we can compute the variance. Therefore, variance of x is equal to variance of the exponential random variable is equal to, by definition, it is expected value of x square minus e of x the whole square equal to expected value of x square is, what is the expected value? That is 2 by lambda square minus 1 by lambda the whole square equal to 2 by lambda square minus 1 by lambda square. So that is equal to 1 by lambda square. That is, if x follows exponential distribution with the parameter lambda, its mean is equal to 1 by lambda and variance is equal to 1 by lambda square. So these are the two important characteristics associated with the exponential distribution. Mean is equal to 1 by lambda and variance is equal to 1 by lambda square. And here for the exponential distribution, for the continuous random variable, what is the definition of CDF? Capital F of x means it is the probability that the random variable, continuous random variable taking all values less than or equal to x. Random variable taking all values less than or equal to x means we are starting the integration from minus infinity and ending up to x, minus infinity to x, the corresponding density function. Here, the density has non-zero value starting from 0. So it is integral 0 to x lambda e raised to minus lambda x dx, lambda into integral of e raised to minus lambda x by minus lambda from 0 to x. So on simplification, this becomes 1 minus of e raised to minus lambda x. So this is another important result. If x follows exponential distribution with the parameter lambda, its CDF, the cumulative density function, capital Fx is given by 1 minus of e raised to minus lambda x. So using the definition of that CDF, we can compute the complement probability. That means probability of x greater than x. What is probability of x greater than x? Probability of x greater than x is equal to 1 minus probability that x less than or equal to x. So in exponential distribution, we have to determine these type of probabilities. So we can use a shortcut method for that probability computation. P of x greater than x is equivalent to 1 minus P of x less than or equal to x. That is 1 minus of we already computed this P of x less than or equal to x. So this is 1 minus e raised to minus lambda x. So that will give a value, cancelling this 1 e raised to minus lambda x. So this result is useful while we are doing problems related to exponential distribution, where the main computation is probability that the random variable taking the value x. Suppose we have some value of x, then we are computing the probability that the random variable exceeding some number. So that probability is equivalent to e raised to minus lambda x. So if you are computing probability at two different points, say s and s plus b, then it has another important property that is called the memoryless property of exponential distribution. The memoryless property of exponential distribution says that if you are evaluating the probability that the random variable is exceeding s plus t, given that x is already greater than s is available. So this conditional probability is same as probability that x greater than t. Okay. So by definition of the conditional probability, we can write down this as p of x greater than s plus t given x greater than s. Conditional probability p of a given b, according to that definition, it is probability of a intersection b. The set of values for this random variable is exceeding s plus t p of a intersection b, and set of values for the random variable x is greater than s p of a intersection b divided by probability of b, that means probability that x greater than s, is equal to probability that x greater than s plus t intersection x greater than s, where s is the specific time and t is the additional time. So s plus t greater than x greater than intersection x greater than s means it is the probability that x greater than the corresponding value, say t, s plus t. So that is the common point of the set of values taken by the random variable x, x greater than s plus t, intersection x greater than s. So it is the common points are x greater than s plus t. So that is divided by p of x greater than s. Now use the previous definition. So for any exponentially distributed random variable x, p of x greater than x is e raised to minus lambda x. So we can apply that concept. So this is equal to e raised to minus lambda into value of the random variable, say s plus t, divided by e raised to minus lambda into s. So that is equal to e raised to minus lambda s into e raised to minus lambda t divided by e raised to minus lambda s. So cancelling that, we get it is equivalent to e raised to minus lambda t, and what is that e raised to minus lambda t? It is equivalent to probability that x greater than t. So this is the proof of the very important property of exponential distribution called the memoryless property. So that simply says that suppose some machine is working, it already worked for a specific time, say yes, then what is the probability that it can work for the additional time of t units? That means after the working hours, working time of s units, the machine is acting as a new one, so it is equivalent to the probability that x is greater than t. That means there is no aging occurs in the case of that machine. So that is the simple idea of memoryless property. Or otherwise we can consider this probability evaluation as p of x greater than s plus t given x greater than s, means take this difference of s plus t and s, so that is equal to probability of x greater than t. So using this concept we can do some problems related to exponential distribution. Okay, let x be an exponential random variable with the parameter lambda, then p of x greater than s plus t given x greater than s is it is equivalent to, or it is equal to p of x greater than t, where s and t are positive. So that is a simple proof of that memoryless property. So thus an electric or mechanical device whose lifetime we model as an exponential variable, therefore stays as good as new until it suddenly breaks. That is, we assume that there is no aging process. So that is a specialty of exponentially distributed random variables. Always that machine or anything we are going to measure that time, that will work as the new one. It is stay as good as the new one. So that is the principle of memoryless property.